to the Jam Podcast, where we'll find some pretty cool guests. Welcome to the Jam Podcast. We can't think of the rest. We're now recording. We're about 10 seconds in.
Hey!
So,
Yay. Woo! Clap! Oh, yeah! Oh.
Right, so...
I was doing that for the stereo.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Jack and Max podcast. This is what, episode 4, 5, 3?
Yep,
something like that. It's one of the episodes. We've actually got a ghost in today.
Oh, we did say we've got the ghost.
But we've also got a very special guest. At least that's what the doctor says.
I do apologise.
Anyway.
Crickets.
Crickets.
Jacqueline Fontaine.
Hello, everyone.
Very nice to have you. Jack's here as well.
I was going to clap, that was all.
Oh, right.
No,
Jack.
just at the start. Hey!
This is going so well.
Oh, this is how it starts. Thank you for being here with us. How's your day been so far? Can you get the audience outside to shut the fuck up?
Sorry.
It's a serious interview.
Oh, my day was good. Thank
Was
you
it?
very much. I was in Knutsford, met up with a few friends, a few business colleagues, got a few things going on, especially in the Northwest.
Oh.
A lot of different shows coming up for prides, non-pride events, sauna events. So busy base. Spent the day with my manager, my agent, just seeing how we can move forward with things and a few different brand deals that I've got going on.
Ooh.
So, well, exciting.
Busy with all the sauna deals, getting a bit of a sweat on?
Indeed, darling, indeed. However, we're planning on making it a bigger show than we had planned for Mr. Sauna.
Oh.
We're going to have myself judging, and
Naturally.
there is a male content creator, obviously for OnlyFans, and last year's winner. So if either of you want to enter, you're not going to do very well in the male beauty contest, but...
Whoa. Why would we not do well?
It shouldn't be the time you find out about it.
Darling, if you find out why you wouldn't do well in a men's beauty contest on a podcast, it's a grim life for
But
you.
what if I just,
What,
Yeah.
slap the dwarf?
No, I was...
Slap the table, darling. It's like, ugh.
Way. So yeah, you're doing that stuff.
I am.
Very nice.
When you say male content creator, are we talking full frontal or what?
Full frontal. Yesterday was fucking Bonnie Blue. But
Was
let's
it?
face it, in this day and age, who hasn't fucked Bonnie Blue? You know, that woman is
Hey.
the definition of ran through.
No, I got told I wasn't allowed. I was in the queue and everything.
Max was number 101. He's like,
And we wonder
Yeah.
why you can't enter the beauty contest. You know, it's a very sittable face. I'm just going to leave it at that.
if the contest was called Beauty and the Bitch, you'd be in. Hey. Anything else? Anything else exciting?
Today or in general?
In general. We'll have
In general, going to Malta very soon. Very, very excited.
exciting.
And the
Oh,
dog-
Sorry,
Oh,
it's
oh.
this is our waiter. Thank you.
Garçon.
Thank you, darling.
Right, we'll throw you some extra breadcrumbs in tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you later.
You've got your tea, haven't you? You got your special
What?
tea.
Yeah, I've got a specialty.
Thank you.
Makes it sound like I'm on some sort of weird edibles thing. I'm not. Any comments on Max and his sports drink?
Let's not start this again. We just had it on another one.
Cool. You sound busy. What's
I'm incredibly
run off-
busy.
So it is especially appreciative for you to appear.
To be fair, I think how many times have we met before? It's about
Getting
10?
close to the doubles now.
close to the
Only
double.
10.
Closer. I'd say probably 8. Probably,
Some terrible,
so.
terrible gigs. And some
Yeah,
quite
some
nice venues.
very interesting gigs.
Now, shall we list off which ones were shit?
Go on then, Max. You start.
So it's is the one that was pretty shit.
Hang on. I thought you were going to... There was just... Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Oh shit! No, I'm joking.
Was I there?
I thought,
I don't think so. I was thinking Bonnie Warrington.
oh,
Where there was a young
no,
lad just shouting at the audience.
Oh
That-
yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that was in a bush
Oh
on
no,
stage.
I'm thinking of a
Actually.
different one. Oh, that's the one we met.
What?
That's the one where we met.
Yes, you'd never met before.
No,
Had I
we-
met you?
Had
No,
we?
I'd
No,
not met you.
none of
No.
us had met. That was where we all met each other
Yes,
the
because
first time because Lou was with you.
yeah,
Yes,
Lou was with
Lou
me, someone
Black.
from work who semi knew you, Charlie,
No, I think
knew
you just
someone who
started
knew
chatting.
me.
and oh my goodness, I don't think he's doing comedy anymore,
Oh.
frankly. And I think the creepiest part was the friend.
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, the one who got really, really, really drunk.
The thing is, he wasn't that drunk.
He was aggressive there.
Yeah, you wouldn't leave him alone with a small cat. We'll just put it that way.
That's a bit weird.
And yeah, all the gigs that we've done, we did the one in Southport together.
Yep.
Yeah.
For Tom McSharry.
I think what we're trying to establish is that Jacqueline is, I don't want to say an old hand,
Oh,
because you've got a lovely well moisturised. But is, I was going to say experienced. It's not getting any, but it's, what's the furthest away you've gigged?
oh, furthest away that I've gigged would probably be either Inverness or London.
Oh, very nice.
Max!
What's the closest you've ever
Hang on,
gigged?
Max, life on the line, which is closer, Inverness or London?
I don't have a fucking clue.
I would say London.
Well, I don't know where Inverness is. Is it a different
It's
country?
like the top of
Scotland?
Scotland.
Oh, probably London then, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, London's about 4 hours away and Scotland's about 5.
Nah, fair enough.
It depends where in Scotland you go. If you don't have a clue where you're going.
Yeah. Scotch Corner.
Yeah, you could say the same about London though then.
Not really.
But to be fair, it's a lot easier to get the train to London.
You not get the train to Scotland?
There's this thing called a map, okay?
Right.
And
We've got one up there.
Yeah, that's a world map.
okay, so if you look at the map of the world,
Right.
you look at roughly where we are in the world in Liverpool. You go up and up and up and up and up to the edge of Scotland.
Okay.
When you get there, you say hello to the Loch Ness Monster,
Bodada. Yeah.
and he will give you direction.
Sweet. Right.
Have you been to Loch Ness?
I have.
I was a bit, what's the word? Really impressed?
Yeah. Though, fun fact about Loch Ness,
big
obviously you've
lake.
got the side nearer to, obviously, the United Kingdom. Well, they're both in the United Kingdom,
Yeah.
for that matter. The other side, when you go over the actual Loch River, you'll find trees that are very similar to that in North America.
Ah, and that's why you've got that line in it.
That's right, it's a perfect line.
What's it called? The
I don't know.
Caledonia Canal.
Isn't Caledonia in Wales?
I don't know. What's it? Can we get this on, Max?
Cairngorms?
What's this?
Go to a Google map again. This isn't comedy at this point. This is vague geography. Yeah, there's a canal that they cut through. Go on Google Map.
Can you show course happy to? Yes, it can.
Yeah. No, it can't actually. That was part of a
Yeah,
fun
you
little
must
game
put
on
that.
Steve's show.
Okay.
Yeah, I said it can. Apparently it can. It's a
I
myth.
think the overall thing we're driving at is don't give tons of sugar to kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diabetic kids.
Probably.
Go show on
right.
Google Maps.
It's a good Chardonnay, by the way.
It is rabbit's foot.
What?
And that's what it's called.
To be fair, back in the day, you used to
Yellow
apply
rabbit or something like that.
rouge with a rabbit's foot.
Is it?
It's called,
Either that or it's yellow
rouge
rabbit. I'm getting one mixed up, I think. Yeah, but it was like £9 or something like that.
Just go up to-
Not a bad price, that.
North.
Right, where am I going?
North.
So just roll and roll until you see Scotland. Okay, so
You see that line there?
Let's go.
Between Fort William.
that is a perfect
that.
line.
There's a canal. It's a cut through.
oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you're quite right, because I think that was part of the American continent. Wasn't
It was. I've just told you that.
I mean, it kind of
I think it's called the
wiggles at the
Caledonia
end
Canal.
there. Oh, is that where you went?
Uh huh.
Inverness. Shall we find out if it's closer?
Yeah, go on. Inverness to...
Liverpool.
Max, have you ever used it? How is it working?
6 hours, and then
No, that's further than bloody London by a country mile.
London is
4.5.
3.5 hours.
3.5.
Ah, right.
4 hours if you're driving. Wow, look at that. Would you? Anyway.
Indeed. I brought my act to a bunch of people in Inverness, some of them quite rural.
I can imagine that went down very well.
Actually, it went down really, really well.
Oh, fantastic. Right. So why don't you tell us about your early life?
Oh,
It's not therapy. Show us on the doll. Get in the doll. lady.
well, I remember being born in the Stone Age.
Right.
I'm that old, and some of the best years of my life were on the Ark with Noah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that man was hung.
Oh, I heard he was a hunk.
No, I said hung, dear.
Oh, hung.
Something you don't know much about. We've established this with the gay sauna. And frankly, I saw Cher for the first time on the Ark. It was a third farewell tour on the second face.
You wouldn't believe.
But no, to be
Tour
fair,
after tour.
to be fair, I had a very normal childhood growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, things were quite good. I flitted around quite a lot when I was younger. Explains the accent. There's a mixture of Scotland, Liverpool, the Channel Islands, Warrington.
Oh, what were you doing in the Channel Island?
Living there.
Yeah.
What were you doing on this very specific date at this time?
That's why they're not.
Were you in this area?
Did you ever see much of the not the Germans, they'd left by then.
Yes, the concentration camp.
Did you? Yeah. Is there much of a?
Yes, so I remember going for a trip to one in school, and you could go and see them, but I don't really remember it too well, to be fair, because of how often I moved, because my mum and dad are lecturers.
Oh.
So they were doing different things, sometimes doing research, sometimes they'd be doing, like actual lecturing.
Who's being lectured to on the Channel Islands? It's about 7 people.
Well,
Pierre, Garçon, Steve.
While they're there, darling, they look at the marine life.
Oh, they lecture on marine?
Yeah.
Oh.
So my mum is a marine lecturer, but she's now also like a
What, she's in the army?
No.
Oh.
No, she also is a nurse. She started off as a nurse, and then she sort of does nursing on the side, but it's looking at how different materials can become different medicines.
Oh, okay.
And then my dad is more into... He started off as a joiner, and then it was looking at different materials, different trees, different things that we can make things from.
And you became a comedian.
And I became... Believe it or not, I've got a master's degree. So my BA is in teaching, and my MA is in clinical therapist.
Oh.
So,
you must have a fucking field day with this one, I would imagine.
Well, actually, he's not the one I was thinking.
Yeah, as an also alumni of a master's programme, I think we can...
I dropped out.
Max just find it wasn't fair on the other people if he competed.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know.
We can only give so many participation trophies.
Whoa, no, I reckon I would have done all right if I'd carried on.
It was the biggest waste of money I ever spent.
So you grew up mostly in Warrington, though, is what you were telling me.
Yes, Warrington, Cheshire.
Warrington, Cheshire. So, like, was that...
Warrington, Massachusetts.
No, there is 2 Warringtons. There's one in Milton Keynes.
Ooh, boo. Sorry. Boo.
So there's one in Milton Keynes and there's one in Cheshire.
Pardon?
Right.
One in Milton Keynes?
Mm-hmm. That's why you just booed.
But you know what people say?
What is this?
There's not a great structure to our show. It's very early doors.
People who vaguely know Warrington go, oh, Kerry Katona. And you go, yeah, sure.
Not anymore. They go Luke Littler.
Yeah, they go Luke Littler now. And also, the guy who played It.
Yes, Tim Curry.
Tim Curry from Grappenhall.
Yes.
So he became a drain cleaner.
So I live in Grappenhall.
All right. Okay.
And, there's no blue plaque or anything. So.
What, for you or for...
Well, frankly, for me and for Tim Curry.
But people always go, oh, it's the land of roundabouts. But Milton Keynes is also known for its roundabouts.
It is, but I'm not from Milton Keynes.
No, but then what's the...
What the fuck, Jack?
No.
What are you going on about?
It's circular, like our conversations. But how come Warrington and Milton Keynes have both got a Warrington in, and they're both known for roundabouts?
Why is Warrington and Milton Keynes known for having a Warrington? Do you mean Cheshire?
No.
No, to be fair, I know what you mean. You're
Thank
on about Birchwood.
Yes.
And that is absolutely full of roundabouts.
Yeah, but so's Skem.
Skem?
Skelmersdale.
I'm not going to lie, I'm terrible with names of places.
No, don't worry about it. You don't want to go there.
I'm not going to worry about it, don't you worry.
Right. Usually we'd be like, no offence to the people from there. No, but full offence to the people from Skelmersdale. Fuck you all.
Ah.
Poor people.
Yeah, they are poor people.
And
says the man from Wigan.
Yeah. Anyway.
What first got you involved with the sauna? Can I do my little aside about the sauna?
yeah, sure.
You're obsessed with this, aren't you?
Well, if you're interested,
It's a
darling.
secret double life he wants to start
up.
Max, what would be the worst thing you think you could find in a sauna?
A dead body.
Yes!
Oh, that's happened.
That was it.
Oh, has
That
it?
was my wife's brother, my brother-in-law, some would say. And he was a young, well-built young man, yeah, and he got a job. He goes, oh, it pays well. And nobody had the heart to tell him. Okay, sauna. And one day found a dead body on the toilet.
In Northwich, where I perform.
Right. How did it die?
I
Do we
believe.
know?
Wasn't it cocaine? Some form of overdose.
Yeah.
You can overdose on cocaine.
Yes. And surprisingly, have you ever
Financially, you can't, no.
have you ever used poppers?
No.
So you can't use poppers.
I know of them, though.
If you can't use a popper if you're on heart medications, because they do affect your heart rate.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why a lot of people, when they're in places like a sauna, they do end up accidentally passing away.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
There's a crossover there between Pringles, isn't there? Once you pop, you just go.
You just
Like
go
a public
darling.
awareness campaign.
Okay.
And usually while they're in a sauna, they're quite salty as well. They're covered in everything.
Ah.
Right.
It's such a polite conversation.
It is, yeah.
No, firstly, you've done far worse conversations than this. So what first got you involved in the... I mean, when we think of Jacqueline Fontaine, apart from that your second name sounds a bit like a fountain pen, because Fontaine. is how much you do on the scene for LGBTQ,
Yes.
all the letters, acts and places to perform. And, I mean, God knows we try and keep our head in the sand and just do as little as possible because we're both lazy. But it's amazing how many different things you put on and you take part in and you post about. What first got you on that?
So, I really need to explain how I started performing to answer that story.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
So in that case, Jacqueline, what got you into comedy? Like, what made you want to go down that path?
So I very accidentally became a comedian. I will say
okay.
it was completely by accident.
The police came
kinda
to
like
the
you.
body.
Basically, I learned if I went out underage in full drag, no one ID'd me.
Oh, right, okay.
So I went out as a drag queen called Jar Jar Lamour. You know Jar Jar Gabor?
Yeah,
Star
Wars. Yeah.
No, Jar Jar Binks.
No, Jar Jar. She was a very famous Hungarian actress.
Yeah.
And one day I was in the Lisbon and I was just given a microphone because someone thought I worked there.
Oh,
and they
right.
thought I was the booked entertainment. And that's sort of how I built my set, how I learned how to become a comedian.
Okay.
Purely through that. And then obviously I do cabaret on the side as well. And obviously that was before I transitioned. And I took a long break between doing that and coming out, really to find myself. And after I came back, I dropped the drag persona.
Yeah.
I just came back as a comedian and cabaret singer. And I noticed the queer nights that are on, there's a lot of people that are gay for a gig. There's a lot of people gay for a gig or ran by straight people. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when they're putting other people on that are mainly gay for a gig, that's when I have an issue.
Yeah.
And at the moment, we're seeing a lot of... We're going back to fascism, essentially. And making sure that there's that space for queer performers, I think, is really important. That's why for Warrington Pride, for example, like 3 years on the run, I've put on a comedy night for people of Warrington to come in and watch, because it's run by people that are not part of the community. Main Warrington Pride.
Yeah.
So that's the important thing, just providing that alternative. You know, you don't want to go to a gay bar, then come along to a comedy show, that sort of thing.
This is a really good conversation to have, but he's sat there with his arms folded like he's
No,
somebody's dad.
I'm just listening.
It is wonderful because, like, until you feel you see people in that environment where you live, it can all just seem like it's on television or it's up airy fairy stuff in the. But it's people, and it's genuinely. We've not met one performer who's LGBTQ, whatever, who we've had, any. I mean, because 99% of who we see on stage is straight white blokes.
Yes.
In Liverpool.
With the same act.
Pretty. Yeah, that's why he's
Similar,
yeah. but and they're following the zeitgeist of what they see in front of them, and I think it's good to actually see other acts who are outside of that because you see what's possible.
Yeah,
but you've got to make a space.
And what you can steal. So
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I did have a cis woman, that means born female, steal part of my act once as a trans woman.
Was it the Blackpool?
What did they?
No,
they
it
go
wasn't.
around saying they were a trans woman.
Basically, as part of their act, yeah.
Really?
For a while, I'm not going to name and shame her.
Oh no, that's fine.
But
you can tell us after.
I will. So yeah, that was a very interesting conversation because we gigged at Rill together, and she stole my act.
Oh, did she do it in front of you?
Yeah.
And at Rill.
At Rill. So for those that don't know, I did a good 6-month stint at the Rill Comedy Club. And...
A long set?
Yeah, it was a long set, darling.
Just non-stop for 6 months. Sometimes there was people in the audience, sometimes.
Have you two done Rill comedy yet?
No, I've been to Rill. They've got a very windy beach.
I've never been to the beach, darling.
You
I don't want to go around the locals.
Let's go get away.
I don't want to get typhoid.
Typhoid.
But if you do get a chance to go to the Rill comedy. It's run by two fabulous lesbians called Nia and Sarah. Absolutely love them. They put on some really great nights.
Nia and Sarah?
Yes. I think you've met them, actually. Possibly.
When would we... I'm terrible with names. It took me like 5 times of meeting you to remember your name.
Well, you got to remember, darling, Fontaine's stage name. I made it up.
Oh, no, I assumed that, yeah.
Dharma.
What?
I was just giving you the surname of a serial killer. I'm sure you're not. Probably not. So I had a question. I was asked to prep a question.
Okay.
Different questions. And just a bit less heavy. Well, a bit heavy. If you murdered somebody,
Okay.
how are you leaving the country? Where are you going? What are you doing?
Okay. I'm going to Argentina.
How?
Well, they're very accepting of murderers and...
Fascists?
I'm going to Argentina.
So, you'd fit in.
How are you getting out of the country?
Well, I was thinking about
To Argentina?
Well, I was thinking to New York first. Obviously,
Okay.
board something like the Queen Mary, what is a Olympic liner.
Mm-hmm.
You go on the Queen Mary to New York. From New York, you would get to Mexico. From Mexico, very easily, you can get to Argentina.
What are we going to do about passport control?
Passport control.
You're going through Liverpool. What's the...
Think. So, we wouldn't go through Liverpool.
Oh.
We wouldn't go through Liverpool.
Oh.
We would get a boat to meet me in Southport.
What sort of boat? Are we a big boat, small boat?
You know what? Scrap the Queen Mary. We're going on our own little yacht. If we're going to
okay.
commit fraud, we might as well commit big fraud.
So some
We're gonna-
sugar daddy,
Yeah.
you've got a yacht.
Some sugar daddy with a yacht. Then we're going to land in Buenos Aires directly. That'll just be easier.
What's that, 3 weeks at sea?
I have no idea. Don't look at me.
I don't know why I'm looking
Shall
at
we have a look?
It's a good thing I like seamen.
Okay. Yeah, but you'd have to kill him if he was... You wouldn't want him going back and... Unless he was going to live
Well,
with
at this point, you're a murderer. I don't think it becomes that much of an issue,
I think
does
once
it really?
you killed one, I think you're okay killing another.
How long from...
to Buenos
Was
Aires.
it
Buenos
Aires?
Aires.
How do I spell that?
I don't think... Benidorm.
Ugh, rather die.
When?
Just put Argentina.
Argentina.
That's very charitable of you.
Oh, not by car. Don't want to know
Don't
by...
cry
It is
for
not
me,
possible.
Argentina.
By boat.
What?
A boat journey from Southport to Argentina would be very
Oh,
long.
okay.
Okay, cool, but
Hey,
that's not
it's
what
not
we're
helpful.
asking. The journey takes 4 to 5 hours?
No, that's Uruguay to
Oh,
Argentina.
yeah. All right, okay. Cruise from
actually,
the US to
to be
Argentina
fair,
takes about a week.
It depends how long till the body's found. I could just use
Oh.
my passport.
Yeah, but then they're going to have a
Ah.
trail.
I don't care. I'm in Buenos Aires.
Oh, that's just the point. Once you... how are you blending in? Did you speak Spanish?
See,
Is that all you know?
Checks out.
see.
See? Did you kill him?
Right, then, all right.
See?
No, and then the plan when I'm in Buenos Aires
Yeah.
is to make a luxury British department store like
Oh.
Harrods.
All right,
Bring
okay.
a touch of British class to Argentina.
Oh.
Import goods such as Manolo Blahniks, such as, I don't know, what other
Overall?
thing? What?
Overall?
Oh, God, no.
What about Marmite?
Oh, I love Marmite.
Whoa. So we write off Bovril and go, oh, Marmite. Oh, come right.
Bovril's more Australia, isn't it?
No, you're thinking,
You're thinking
of Vegemite.
Vegemite.
Though Vegemite is better than Marmite.
like
Max,
it.
just for comparison of the degree of planning provided in 2 minutes, that's quite strong. Who you killing? Where you going? How you doing it?
You?
Yep, thought you said that.
Probably Warrington.
You're not hiding Warrington.
Actually, you can.
Yeah. And
You can't. He's got all the
how am I
teeth.
doing it? What? How am I killing you, or how am I hiding in Warrington?
We'll go with how you're going to hide in Warrington after killing somebody in Warrington.
Yeah.
Okay, right. You've got the
last
world.
place they check.
Probably the first place to check.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, where
No,
you
I think the first
where
place
you
to
gonna
check
be?
is Wigan.
I'm going to hide next to the body in his
What I'll
flat.
do it. No, what I'd do is I'd hide in Warrington, right?
Right.
Then when they've checked all of Wigan, I'd just go back to Wigan.
Okay. If there's a different country, where would you go
Foolproof.
to
Foolproof.
to blend in?
To blend in,
Yeah, different
probably Amish country in America.
Yeah,
I'd probably
I see
do
it,
all
I
right
see
there.
it.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
it.
Just shave this bit off up here. There's not much there anyway, so. It
Did
wouldn't
they
be
shave
enough.
that part of the beard?
Yeah, they just shave that, shave here and all here.
I know,
And
but
it's just the
don't-
bottom
you've
bit.
not got working men's hands.
Those calluses aren't from.
They'd accuse you of being a bit light in the loafer, a friend of Dorothy.
And he's
Not
the
even a
loo.
friend. You'd be a husband of Liza.
Husband of Liza. Okay.
I go to
Fine.
Iceland.
The supermarket of the country.
Yeah, I love a mum. No, I do actually, because I'm married to one.
You go to Iceland now.
I go to Iceland.
Who would you have killed?
Probably-
Make it count. Get like a Wikipedia page from it.
Who would I kill? I don't know. Maybe Charlie.
Who the fuck's Charlie?
Charlie, sausage fingers.
Well, the king.
Yeah.
Whoa,
sorry.
whoa, we can't be saying this. You can't
Yeah,
be
we
saying
can.
that. No, you can't. It's
Yeah, I can.
quite literally, what is it, treason?
Where'd you say?
That is literally illegal, darling. You might want to cut that bit.
Why?
It's quite literally illegal to
it's
say
not-
that.
No, right. He's only a person. If you say you can kill me, I can kill the king.
Please note that me and Max do not
Allegedly.
endorse these
Allegedly.
views.
They
We
keep winking
will
at me.
have him had. We'll have you hang.
Yeah, well,
In Arabic, apparently.
it's all right. I've already got it lined up to kill him myself. So we've got this idea that we did last week.
What if I gave him syphilis? Would that count?
What are you talking about now?
Is that still murder?
Are you still on about that? No, stop.
Can you die from?
Stop. Right. So last week we did an episode,
Okay.
and it was just us two, and I told him a concept for a film.
Oh yeah.
From when I was in college that me and some of my friends made up, and we thought what would be a fun game is if we make up a concept and you decide out of those two concepts which one you would invest in, and then we're gonna have a wheel spin with a few different genres, and you've got to make up a film concept on that as well.
But
So
explained much better.
Okay.
What's explained much better?
That.
Just roll the.
Yeah.
Go on.
So we got to get the wheel up. So I should have prepped this beforehand. So if you guys want to just talk amongst yourselves, I'll just quickly put them together.
Basically, we were looking at news articles, just chatting about general stuff. And Max did film at uni, was it?
Film studies, film and television production.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. And we basically combined the two and came up with an idea. So I thought was if we could pitch... What the hell? If we could...
It went the wrong way.
It was the first time. If we could pitch an idea to you, just to show you what the idea is, and then we want to assess you. If we give you a news story, like for example, AI.
Okay.
AI is big in the news. And a style of film, like romance, comedy, superhero, fiction is too broad. And then we want you 1 minute, pitch us an idea.
Okay.
And we'll score it out of impression, magic, and razzmatazz. So Max is actually going to be...
Should we do one more? What other genres do we have?
You've got historical, adventure, action, romance, superhero.
Suspense.
Oh, suspense. Oh, well, we could put thriller.
What are your favourite films, by the way? What is
Shaun
your-
of the Dead.
Oh,
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
I quite like Zulu, to be honest.
It might probably be Breakfast at Tiffany's. Price.
It's a bit more romantic, isn't it?
You think?
Right, so we've got the wheel now. With horror, comedy, romance, action, adventure, historical, thriller, and superhero.
Are you currently sharing this with our viewers, as well, Max?
Yes, this is currently being shown to the viewers.
So, Max, are you going to go first? Are you going to pitch?
Yeah, so we haven't planned anything, as you
Okay.
can tell from the rest of the podcast so far. So we're just
can
going to make up a concept on the spot.
Oh, no, can I give you a news concept? Or can Jacqueline give us a news concept? Ooh. Oh, now we're talking.
Yes.
That's a complete... Oh, and then build it into these...
Yeah.
What, so like find something on the news?
No, can Jacqueline find something on the news?
Yeah, so if you
throw
want
it
to find...
to us, and then we'll tag team. Not like that.
Okay.
And then, no, we have to make it into one of these genres with that same...
yeah.
But we have to do different genres, obviously.
Oh, we're competing with each other.
Yeah, Jacqueline's going to pick which one she's going to invest in.
And then we let Jacqueline do it.
And then Jacqueline gets to do it,
yeah.
and we'll say...
We just
whether
thought we'd show everyone behind
We'll
the scenes.
we'll give it a rating out of 10, yours, and we'll put it on our leaderboard back here, which is just the Get Fact leaderboard for the for his questions. But we're gonna put one on top of it at some point,
Okay.
I think. But yeah, so if you can find a story for us,
Anything you want.
we probably should have prepped this.
No,
beforehand.
Should have.
Anything you want. No.
Yeah.
This is the...
So Jack, this is going to be your genre.
I have to go first.
Yep.
Can I not rock, paper, scissors?
Actually, do you not think it might be an idea for me to find the news story first so I'm not biased?
Oh, yeah, okay. Let's let Jacqueline find the news story first.
Okay.
Actually, for our viewers, just type in BBC News. You can have a look on BBC News.
Yeah, let's do it on the
Okay,
screen.
yeah. Okay.
Then
BBC.
is a modern event. Okay, Jack, are you ready?
When you're giving us the same for me and Max.
Okay.
Oh, no, can we have different ones?
Yes.
Yeah, can we have different?
Yeah, okay.
Jack, situation is dire. BBC returns to Gaza babe left hungry in Israel at blockade.
Go for King Charles.
That sounds a little bit sad.
Well, it's all in the narrator.
That reminds me, has Andy Serkis done anything recently?
Right,
What?
now, let's get back on track, darlings. Let's see what you will have, Jack.
Right, so this is your story, and it's going to be...
Remember,
kind of
these
film?
are actual people's lives.
Yeah, Jack.
Hey!
It's a horror film. I don't think you're going to struggle with that one too much. So, Jack, why don't you tell us the premise of your film?
It opens on a misty London bridge, right? We see a figure with a top hat and a cape walking down. Suddenly, someone shouts, "Stop!" And you hear him runs. And then it just cuts to a body on the floor, covered in blood. And then the howl of a wolf. Not related, but sets the atmosphere. present day. Don't know why the Enigma machine's there. You join us live in Gaza. Shit's going down. No one's happy. Bad shit. Trump's there. I'm going to help. He doesn't help, right? Everything's going wrong. How could this get worse? It can't get... The UN sat there, all of them. How's it going to get worse? It can't get worse. Okay, we'll stabilise the situation. Right. Everything begins to stabilise. It cuts to Israel. They're all sat there doing Israeli things. Eating hummus. Counting money. Whatever they're doing, right? Whatever they're doing. And having a time. Yeah, we've secured them. No one can touch us. Suddenly, the same noises heard. A vigilante strikes Tel Aviv. A man who knows no borders. Médecins sans frontières? Non. C'est non. Les murderers sans frontières is the name of the film. Somebody, we don't know who, turns out to be a relative of Kofi Annan, is going into Israel. Damaging, some would say killing, making a point that human rights matter all over the world. And that's why it's important.
Okay, and what's the horror aspect of this?
The horrible murders.
I feel like you forgot what your actual genre was.
I think because of the news story, it kind of threw you off a little bit as to what to talk about.
I'm sticking with the horror of death, the horror, the humanity. Are you saying that's not horrible, Max?
So
I'm going to move on.
Awful.
human tragedy.
Yeah, no,
Human
terrible,
tragedy. Yeah.
terrible thing. But it's not happening to me, so...
Okay, go back, darling.
Right,
I
so...
will choose a new story.
Shall I scroll down a little bit?
Scroll down a little bit.
Yeah. Okay,
Man tries to kill the king.
Go down a little bit. Let's see.
Go back up.
Go back up. It's a little bit shit.
Should I go across?
Humanoid robot fights in Chinese kickboxing competition.
I appreciate how
okay.
you've given us similarly weighty subjects.
Oh, there's a video.
Oh,
Oh, this is actually kind of sick.
this looks like AI. It doesn't quite look real.
That's sick.
Are they animated?
No, they're real robots. It's China, they do it all. Like, they've got loads of robots for shit now.
I know,
Right.
but they look
Sick over there
animated.
for that stuff. Right, so what genre am I doing?
You've got rid of horror, by the way.
Have I?
Yeah, you can't do horror because I've done it.
Oh, shit.
An adventure.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's a... How the fuck am I going to make this historical?
I had to confirm that Jack the Ripper in some sort of weird Tel Aviv murder story. You can make this historical.
Right, okay, so, setting the scene. It's modern day.
Wrong.
No.
No, so it starts, it's modern day,
Oh, okay.
right? We're in China,
Okay.
you know, because we need to get those Chinese numbers in for when the film actually releases. And there's some robots. They're in a boxing match,
Yep.
right? Like in that video we've just watched.
Okay.
And they're scrapping away, and as they're scrapping,
Dinosaur.
a big portal opens. And a bunch of people are sucked into the portal, right? And they're sucked off into the past.
They sucked off.
Well, it depends where they landed. And the robots land, and they're just like, they're in, let's say, Viking times. Right.
Because Viking China, one of the least
Okay, actually, no, yeah.
least
Actually,
studied
no.
parts of
Genghis Khan times.
When was that?
So that was 1300s, 1100s, something like that.
You can have the end.
Right, so the Mongolian Empire, these robots have appeared, and they're still scrapping away because that's what they've been designed to do. They're scrapping with each other.
Not need plugging in.
And no, not in my one.
Okay.
Right, and then they're just out in a field scrapping each other, and it's now in Genghis Khan's times, and his army shows up over a hill, and they're like, yo, what the fuck is that? And it's robots fighting, and they go over to it, and they're like trying to stab him, because they don't know what a robot is, so they're there trying to stab these robots. But they're made of metal. They're not getting stabbed. You know, they can't get stabbed. So they're stabbing them. And Genghis Khan comes over and goes, no, we'll use these to take over places. Then obviously his whole dynasty happens and he takes over like China and all that stuff. And he's using the robots on the front lines. He's just sending them out into the fields against the armies. They're winning because they're just walking up, whack, whack, you know, knocking everyone out. And Genghis Khan becomes the ruler of the world.
Okay.
The only thing that I felt it lacked in terms of adventure was it needed a bit more of like a.
It's not adventure. It was historical.
Okay. Well, all right, fine. It needed more adventure. It needed more,
I do agree. It needed more adventure.
it needed more like a buddy cop feel.
It was a bit.
Okay, and one of the robots is like straight talking, and the other
Yes,
one is
now
a
we
bit
get
more like, I ain't got time for this. I'm a robot. Pwah, pwah, pwah. You know.
This
so-
Chinese robot from Detroit.
I'm not doing the accent. You know. So
They fall through a portal. They land on Genghis Khan's mate's horse. Kill him.
is this my film or your film?
He was just one day away from retirement. And then they have to fill the gap.
Thanks, Jack. You're selling my film even better now.
I think that's a better.
So, Jacqueline, I think we're gonna have to go to you now for the decision on which one you think you would invest in.
Okay. Now, let me be completely
Bear in
honest
mind,
with you both.
This is all legal contract and everything. You will be actually signing paper and
Now,
paying for our films to be
Gentlemen,
made.
I can't lie to you.
You don't-
Both films were very good, but look at that. I did
What?
just lie to
Thank
you.
No, let's carry on with that.
Okay. Frankly, they're both horse shit. To get someone to star in those, you would be lucky, unless it was a dead badger. But one was slightly better than the other.
Oh.
But who will it be?
Should we get a drum roll? Should we see if we've got a drum roll here?
I'm going to ruin it anyway. It was Jack.
Hey! Can I ask you why?
Well, yours, I felt there could have been a bit more based in reality.
Yeah.
And I felt the delivery was a lot better. And there's
Thank
a bit
you.
more of a succinct image.
I did feel a bit wrong with having the wolf. The wolf didn't play any part in the delivery.
And yours,
A wolf in London as well. That just
I
doesn't
feel
make any
like
sense.
yours is something you'd watch after a bottle of Chardonnay and bad decisions.
Yours sound like
Yeah, but you'd watch it.
No.
yours
you
is
fall
like
asleep.
Netflix would have made
No,
season
because
one.
I know exactly who we could hire to play Genghis Khan.
Liza Minnelli.
Jackie Chan.
I was going to say Steven Seagal.
Very
Because at this point, he would do it.
Really?
Yeah, let's be honest.
Well, he's desperate for his career.
He just comes in on a chair. I'm going to beat the shit out of you. No, actually, he could play one of the robots. So the other robot is played by just a robot, and it's just Steven Seagal. Just
Pretending to be a robot.
Okay, darlings, what are you going to choose for me?
All right. Well, can I make this decision? Because I did
Yeah.
felt, but to be fair, you give me the winner here, so I'm now more.
Be kind to me.
I will. Can we scroll up a little bit?
shall I refresh the?
Can
page?
you go on to? I was going to say war in Ukraine.
Okay.
Business. Well, can I have business?
Oh, let's look at business. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we've got Trump agrees to extend EU trade, rate rigging traders.
I would like.
France impounds UK vessel accused of illegal fishing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to have the France. France
France.
impounds UK vessel. So we've got the Fisherman. We've got
France and pounds UK vessel.
and the
Accused of illegal fishing.
the topic. The
Genre
genre. Some would say, especially in France.
is
Sky Broadband, our lowest price full fibre. Ooh.
Oh.
It's a superhero film.
Handed a golden ticket.
Okay, we ready?
So we want to just before we tell you
We're
how
going to
we're
rate it
judge
out of 10.
Yeah, on the pitch, on the vision.
On the vision, on who you would cast in the film
Yeah,
as
we'll have
well.
that as well. And the
Okay.
razzle dazzle is always important.
Yeah.
Razzle dazzle. Okay.
And remember as well, there's different types of superhero films. So it could
I've
be
got an
more-
idea.
All right, okay. I'll let you go with it.
Don't
then.
you worry.
Schindler's List.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
In
Are
a
you?
world troubled by bad Brexit negotiations, two sides have emerged: the United Kingdom and the European Union.
Margaret Thatcher's
Two great powers now at war.
Okay. I'm
With
into this
that-
already.
I'm with you. Yeah.
There is a thriving illegal fishing trade happening on the Channel and near the Brussels continent.
Oh, shit, man.
However, one of them has been caught. The beloved Fisherman. Oh, played by who? Let's think. Who could play Fisherman? But
So is the
none
fisherman,
other-
is he the superhero?
I've not finished yet, but yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Honestly, do you want to just say it for me?
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to keep up.
You're hearing this.
I was just trying
Played by Denzel Washington.
Oh, fuck, yes.
Now Netflix are investing.
to- Yeah,
He
yeah.
is taken to a French prison
Okay.
where he is kept under lock and key
Right, okay.
by his guard, Audrey Tautou.
I did do.
Audrey Tautou.
He's not allowed to shower. Not punishment. It's just what the
Over
French do.
Over a spree of months,
Yep.
smells a fishy odour coming from Audrey's groin. He knows what the fisherman must do. He must satisfy the needs of the woman of France
Whoa.
to get his freedom.
Okay.
Please join us this summer for the fishiest show this side of the Mississippi River in Europe with Audrey Tautou, Denzel Washington, and me, Cher.
Okay.
But who's the superhero?
Yeah. What's his
The
powers?
fisherman.
Yeah, but what's his
He can
powers?
detect fish and when things need satisfying that smell fishy.
Oh, right.
Okay.
It's all right, dude. We can tell your wife's not been satisfied before.
Okay.
You've got a bad sense of smell. I see.
Right,
Has
so-
he got a superhero name?
Fisherman.
The fisherman.
Fisherman. Fisherman. And what's the tagline for the fisherman?
Fisherman. Mackerel be done.
Mackerel be done. Something smells fishy.
Something smells fishy.
Oh, that could be his catchphrase.
And Cher could be in it, like
Yeah.
Mamma Mia.
Mary.
Yeah, but is she the love interest or is she the bad
Audrey
guy?
Tautou is the love interest.
Who's the bad guy then? Is it Cher?
It's Cher. I'm the president of France.
Ah, so the president of France, played by Cher, is the bad guy.
Sailor V, motherfucker.
So is he like on some sort of prison release within France and he's trying to save up the money by
No,
the women? Or
you've
how does he-
completely missed the point. He breaks out of prison and fucks his way across Europe.
That's the bit we
Sweet,
didn't get.
okay.
He breaks out.
So why is he fucking his way across Europe?
Money.
Money. Freedom.
Fish.
Satisfying.
Oh,
He's
so
trying
it's
to
like
unite
it's kind
the
of like it's like an anti-hero film then.
Yeah.
So he's not actually a superhero.
He is a superhero.
He's more like an.
Do you feel
anti-hero.
good when you have an orgasm?
Depends who I'm with.
Honestly, it's usually your own hand.
Exactly, I
Usually
feel
when
terrible
you're with
then.
someone else. Usually when it feels very good, darling.
Yeah,
and that's why
I
he's
can
a
imagine.
superhero. Because let's face it, Frenchmen are terrible in bed.
Oh, okay.
I'm quite impressed. I'll tell you why.
I'm
because
impressed.
for the first third of that, it wasn't Jacqueline pitching. It was Margaret Thatcher from the opening salvo of the Falklands War. You might have taken our islands, but what we have is grit, determination, and much more. We are Brit. I enjoyed that.
You
No,
might have
Jack.
taken our island.
We are going to score it out of 10.
You won't notice that he was actually Japanese. This is professional origami he's doing.
This is
Instead of
Your
handing me,
handwriting is awful.
that's not my handwriting. This is how prepared we are for things.
why do I get?
We're going to write
Um,
our scores out.
I
of 10.
really enjoyed the opening pitch. I wasn't. I didn't.
My finger.
Just have to deal with. I didn't see it going the way it was going.
Okay.
That his superpower was satisfying the ladies, and maybe that's the right way because recently, Max knows about films. Marvel's been struggling a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah, a little bit.
The traditional
They've had some
superhero.
good- Yeah, so I think this could really save the universe.
Cher's been.
And bringing Cher into it was a shout as well at the end.
Yeah.
And having Denzel as the main actor,
Yeah.
winner. Right, so I think we're going to put a score on it on our piece of paper. It's going to be
Well, I'm not.
Remember, I'm sure I'm
It's gonna
old,
be,
bitch.
something point something, right? Okay.
You know, if I could turn back time, I would have said something years ago, but
I
I,
think-
believe I can't anymore.
I think it would just need lots of fishy puns. Like he'd punch the jailer in the face and then be like,
We could all wear fishnails.
"Sorry, that wasn't to scale." Get the
Give
point.
us your grander profile.
So out of 10. Jack, come on. Write your number. It's got to be something point something.
Point
That's the
something.
score. Yeah, so because obviously we're going to have other guests on. We want to be able to score it on the leaderboard. So we've got to be like, 2.6, 7.3, out of 10.
9.9.
Yeah, it could be 9.9 if you think it's the
I do
greatest
like
thing
it,
in the
and
world.
I wasn't expecting the start of it.
And remember,
And
I
then
was only
just-
asked to do this yesterday, so I
Yeah,
should
yeah,
get
yeah,
bonus
yeah.
points.
Where, I just wanted to see a bit more action. Well, there's plenty of action. It
Yeah.
became more of an erotic thriller. I think more than a superhero film at times.
Was it not erotic and was there not a
Well,
superhero?
well-
Sex sells, darling.
It does,
By
no.
adding sex into anything, you double your profits.
It's not the bums on seats I'm worried about. It's that the seats are wipeable down afterwards.
Well, you know what, darling? Show it at a gay sauna, you'll get a 2-for-1.
This film could be shown in a gay sauna, I
It
reckon.
could.
You
Yeah.
only sell half as many seats because you can sit down while the last person stills out there.
Double the amount of seats. What do you want? Double the amount of tickets. Half the amount of seats.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't even need the
I'm
film. do you?
saving money for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, write your score down. Don't let us see it yet. Either of us.
Right, okay.
So cover it with your hand.
So, Max,
but
did
yeah.
you watch the Eurovision Song Contest?
Did
while
I,
was doing
folk?
that?
No, I was busy that day.
Oh, what were you doing?
Getting drunk.
So was I, but watching Eurovision.
Oh, no, I think I was in Liverpool. Getting drunk on that day.
One of the most Eurovision-centric
Yeah.
cities.
Yeah, but I was in McGull.
It's not really Eurovision, is it?
Yeah, in Liverpool.
I don't go out in Liverpool.
It's not Liverpool.
It's alright, McGull, actually.
What are you doing in McGull?
It's where my family lives.
Oh, you're Liverpudlian.
Max, have you walked into
I'm
somebody's...
not, no, I'm from Wigan, mate.
Have you walked into somebody else's house again? This is your family live in Wigan.
Yeah, I know I live in Wigan, but I've got family in Liverpool.
Oh.
So,
How did you get on the language barrier?
it's hard.
Oh, ne bâtez pas sans moi.
What?
Si.
Right, are we ready with our scores?
Yeah.
Are we right? So we're going to do the average out of these two, but I've given the film a score of 8.3 out of 10.
Yay!
And Jack has given it a
give
score
it
of
8.8.
Oh!
So, bearing in mind we're doing the average, it sounds like
So the average of that is 8.5.
No.
8.6.
It's just in between the two. Let me do my maths. It's 16,
No, just
17,
put the one in between.
That's not how that works.
It is.
16, 17.1.
This is really well planned.
Thank you. Yeah, we've been planning this for a while.
So how are you two
Hang
finding?
on. It's 8.55. He tried to nick 0.5 of a point off you there. It's 8.5.
All right, 8.6 then. We'll round it up.
Oh, there you go.
8 points.
Round it up. 8.6.
Yay!
Woo! We're not going to get the people to cheer again. So you got 8.6 out of 10. I should probably write that down somewhere so I can make the
I
actual
think
list.
we can remember.
So how are you two finding comedy at the moment?
Usually we find it on Facebook.
That is very true. You don't have an agent yet.
Yeah.
How about you? How are you finding comedy?
It's a lot of like horse trading.
Yeah.
I think you jumped in before I explained the horse aspect. Because I have the lodger currently living with me,
Mm-hmm.
Max,
Your child.
baby, and that means to try and like earn brownie points. Stop laughing because I said brownie point. Max was a Cub Scout when he was young. No, you weren't. You're an altar boy, weren't you?
I was.
How was the Pope?
Oh, that was devastating news.
Dead. Like King John.
Oh, speaking of, we'll send you a link.
What?
The film that we were talking about last week was a film about a zombie pope, but I'll send you a link. You can listen to that
Okay.
at some point. I reckon you'll enjoy it.
But it means that like because I've got to look after the child and whatnot, I can maybe get out a day a week or something like that. So it's a little bit of back and forth with what we've been able to do. Plus, one of the problems is unless you can double like we did the other week in Liverpool, you're going a long way to do 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And often,
Especially open mic.
as supportive as everyone is, right, you're doing it for a room, I'd like to say full, it's not full, but 1/3 full, of other comics trying the same sort of stuff.
And majority of the time they've seen us before as well,
Yeah.
and we base a lot of our stuff, as you know,
Yes.
around improvising with the audience,
Which is
with
somewhat
some
difficult.
setups and stuff like that. But the setups work with audience members because you can kind of, as people like will say, like improvisation with an audience member is going to be hard because you never know what they're going to say. But you can kind of
You can
lead them.
Yeah.
You can read the room
It's
and
like-
you can lead them somewhere as well a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
Our newest thing
But
we're
comics are
gonna do,
dickheads for that.
Yeah.
If you try and
And the newest one we're going to do is Max actually plays a bloke in prison in France,
Okay.
and he can smell fish,
Okay.
and he has to shag his way across the audience. I know I'm getting confused now. But if we come up with an idea, you need to practice it, and it's just a 5-minute set. You really struggle to get it in with a bit of audience interaction. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And-
that's where we like working.
I don't know what you two think. A lot of comedians I've noticed have a real chip on their shoulder.
Yeah,
Like,
I have seen that a little bit. Yeah.
Egos are terrible, I think, with some comedians.
Yeah.
And like
Such as?
I can beep.
I don't name and
I can't
shame.
threaten to commit regicide, but
No, but we know what you mean. Like
Yeah.
we've seen it firsthand as well. There's definitely been other comedians that we've seen.
It's
where we
that
thought,
we've been to a gig together, and I'm not sure if you noticed, but someone actually said that I wasn't a comedian.
What?
To a large group of people in comedy, I'm a cabaret singer that can tell a joke. I am not a comedian. I was funnier than them.
Oh, yeah. But I think that people they try to pigeonhole people.
Yes.
and some people can't. Ironically, take a joke.
And they can't write their own fucking jokes.
Yeah,
We've seen that a
this
lot.
is- Max is my favourite game with Max. I had the sausage. No, it's not. He's we'll watch a comedian, and there'll be someone we like, and they'll do, and then they'll say something which is very similar to what you've heard 1,000 times before,
Yeah.
and we won't say anything. I'll be like, and then Max's face will go from happy to,
Yeah, I've seen that.
and I'll look
before.
at Max, and he'll be
Yeah.
like, and he's just thinking when he's getting his next pack of peanuts, he's just
No,
turned.
I actually usually am thinking that. When can I go for a pint without looking rude?
And he's just dead to him because he's like, I'd rather you go up there and do something that's not funny or it fails.
Yeah, I would rather see that.
Or if you're going to say something without thinking, and it's a reference to something else, just go, oh, it's you know what I mean? Self-referentiate.
This other comic said this, which I think is funny.
It's like the night we did Southport together. You know, I did a lot of new material that didn't really land, and you know, it's still new material. And
that was the one with the dog, wasn't it?
Oh, that fucking dog!
The dog in the audience and that really, really drunk woman who kept just talking.
Yeah.
What? If I
You don't remember it?
The Fool in Southport.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember a dog.
Yeah, there's a dog.
A dog barking during our song.
I threatened to make it into a fur coat.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I think, and something I've noticed as well, there's a big emphasis at the moment on people performing for free.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I remember a gig we were supposed to get paid for.
Oh, I remember that gig too.
Yeah.
Let's not mention that.
Yeah, he's not brought anything up. He's not messaged me anything about it. I don't know if you two have spoken to him since.
We've spoken to him
I know he
since.
no longer does that venue for anything.
No, to be fair, that venue's closed down.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
The
now
pub?
it's becoming a pesto.
Is it?
The pub.
Yeah, it's now becoming a pesto restaurant.
The one in... I'm going to bleep it later, but...
Yes.
Has it?
It's already fucking expensive enough, wasn't it?
To be fair, the food was nice, but it wasn't
It was
great.
alright, yeah. And I liked that
He's never
Irish
busy,
guy.
was he? Jack.
Yeah, Jack, yeah. I
There you
found
go.
him funny. And he used to give us free drinks all the time because he liked us.
Every time
hang
I
on.
go in, he used to give me free Chardonnay.
The
Yeah.
pub's now closed down because it was losing money. He's like, "Oh,
probably,
he used to give us
yeah.
free drinks.
Yeah.
But yeah, like,
He was alright. I liked him.
and that's the thing. Bad promoters are promoting gigs that are not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's also the issue of too many people who are new, and don't get me wrong, we've fallen into this category before, who are too new to run a gig,
Yes.
Yeah. I'd
and
say that. Yeah.
it falls apart real fucking quick.
What I don't get is if you go to do a gig and
And we've done it as well, like, so I'm not, just disrespecting
but if
people.
no,
We've
that
done
was
the exact
packed, it
same
just
thing.
nobody knew the gig was on, but it was
Yeah.
packed.
So,
It's when you do go. Sorry, carry on.
so the gigs that we've actually done together, I've been a stand-in each time. I've never actually been booked for any of those
Oh, that's
shows.
a fair point.
Right, okay.
So if you think of like, I have no prior knowledge to obviously like when was putting those nights on.
Yeah.
I was always just for standing. And the one we did together in Warrington, the last one we did for Mike, again,
yeah.
I was a stand-in.
Oh, yeah.
See, I didn't know what was meant to be going on with that night. I didn't realise it was meant to be like more open micy style.
So that's what really confused me because they
Yeah.
were
Yeah, it felt
advertising
more like
a
a gig.
different
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
Yeah, but they were advertising it as like
An
A
open
booked
mic.
gig.
it was a
almost.
booked gig, yeah.
Yeah, and then
So we were like,
Pacific accent,
oh,
like,
sweet. And then Sam Serrano had to drop out. And so we were like, oh, we'll do the head spot, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And like, we weren't expecting to get paid or anything, but we were expecting it to be like a gig.
People with enough people in there, not just like 10 people.
like, don't get me wrong, I'm very glad that I got an encore. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
did,
that's
you
great.
did. But I mean, what we've always said about you is the confidence. The confidence always comes across that you've done
little
a
old
variety.
me.
that you've done a variety of different types of entertaining, and the confidence there's there to deal with. Like when we've seen you do a similar set once or twice, where you get somebody up on stage
Yes.
and you make them hold various phallic objects, which is,
Yes.
and sometimes the person's an arsehole.
Yes.
And you've got to push through some of the bits that develop the plot with it to get to another funny joke about it. But it's the confidence you've got to push through that you can sort of trust you. But if you begin to lose your confidence, the audience sort of gets lost as well. But that doesn't
Yeah.
happen. Whereas I could see with us, we try to just keep moving fast enough that if something doesn't land, you keep going for now. And I know
You
next time
say
you do
we, you just speed up.
Well, I'm not sure if you two have noticed, if a joke doesn't land for me, I'll make a comment on it like,
Yeah.
oh, I thought it was a funny joke.
Yeah.
One thing I hate though is when something doesn't work out straight away and the comic will go, oh, well, I'm just trying new material. So I'm like,
Oh, no, that
Oh,
annoys me.
yeah.
stop mentioning. If you've not got the confidence, say at the end, I really appreciate you. There was some new material in tonight. I'll keep that. I'll look forward to seeing you get fine. But when you go like, oh, that's not great. And the first time you do a self-referential thing, fine. But if you keep doing it,
Yeah.
So I do,
I'm like,
if it's new things at the beginning, I always do it at the beginning, you know, and I'll do a joke like, just like Cher, this is all new, you know. I say it's new for Cher, it's a new face, mine's new material.
she's gonna be in a superhero film.
She is. And it's
Fisherman.
it's just not taking a joke too seriously. That's
Yeah.
the thing. And something that's really annoying me, there's a certain demographic of comedians at the moment that it's like a cookie-cutter script.
It can't be both of us, can it?
No, you two are different because you're a double act.
Yeah.
But if you think of the amount of times you've seen the same act come out of someone else's mouth, and I don't know what it is. I think it might be the rise of people taking comedy courses.
Yeah. The only good thing about ours was that we found each other.
Yeah.
And I
It's such a
suppose
shame.
the other side is, unless you live close to, say, Liverpool or
Shit, I
Manchester.
forgot to change the screen. It's just been on this for the last 10 minutes.
Oh,
Whoops, I was meant to have
there's
this
not,
camera on.
like in Warrington, up until recently, I haven't seen there been tons of open mics and stuff, the last 3 or 4
No.
years. And if you got an interest in that, I wouldn't think where you'd know to start.
In fact, the one in Warrington, I believe, is stopped.
The Jill G one,
Jill G's now moved to a different venue.
because of all the anti-Semitic stuff.
I don't think it was because of that. I think the venue's now shut on a Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So she's now moved to a different venue, but it's just, I don't like the venue.
Oh, there's a venue.
I didn't perform, but yeah, I wasn't a fan of the venue.
Of the new one?
Yeah, it's Hideout in Warrington.
We did the downstairs. Oh, like you've obviously done it.
Oh, the tank bar.
And the toilet was stuck. Oh, it stunk.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it. You know when I mentioned it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I thought I was just
During
joking.
the...
Yeah. No one enjoyed that. She didn't enjoy it at all.
No.
Lip
She took
sync.
it very personally.
The lip sync
It
night.
is.
But
Yeah.
you can't
And I'm
take-
stood there just going, oh, fuck's
So
sake.
how did you two do in the lip sync?
think of the word badly and then make it worse.
We got the lowest score out of anybody because somebody forgot to do the lyrics and just started standing there just laughing or slapping
Laugh
mitten.
it.
And they gave us, I think they all gave us like the highest score out of anyone for comedy, like comedy value, but then the rest of it was so fucking low
But
that
but
we
can I
got the
point out,
lowest scores.
the slap bit
And I had
that
a
we-
look at the scores.
The slap that we
done
developed in that became quite an integral part to one of our,
other sets.
which
Yeah.
is
So I've done 2 of the lip syncs, and I came second and came third or fourth. I can't quite remember. So yeah, the judging criteria is interesting.
Yeah, we saw. What's her name?
Red Hot Lava.
The one dude. No, the one who is. Bloody hell! Who did the rolling?
Oh,
You know, rolling. That song.
Oh, did she win?
yeah.
I don't know if she won, but
No, she came
because we had to
second,
leave early, but she should have won if she didn't.
But I lost by 1 point.
How did you? Who did you lose to? Name and shame.
Ben Hodge.
I don't know who that is. Do you?
No idea.
Have we met them?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember if I had, to be honest.
But to circle the wagons, as a phrase, back to your point, I do think these sort of comedy courses, it throws people into something when
They're not ready.
and if they go to an open mic where someone's supportive, and we've had bits of advice from all sorts of places, haven't we? They'll grow with that and they'll get better and whatnot. But it sort of saturates them with, not so much with the guys doing the open mics. I do mean guys mainly, but with them trying to start their own thing, and then it
Yes.
lives and dies, and it's struggling. Whereas it's like when we were doing the ones at what was Pest, there was no posters up.
No.
There was no notification. There was very little on social media, and you're like, hang on, you were doing this as a charity gig, as sort of a isn't our place great, and you've not actually utilised it as a.
Yeah,
Whereas we see whenever you do anything that's postable, it's all over Facebook. You know, with
yeah,
these
can't
people
get fucking
cross-posting.
away from it. So you know,
Yeah.
it's great for publicity. It's fucking well annoying for my feed.
Yeah. But then I think what happens then is the people that you get getting through it and getting a bit more limelight, unless they go very sort of like Pablo style from Hot Water.
What, Paul Smith?
Yeah, that's sort of very straightforward and which is great.
Oh, just
Unless
oh,
they
exactly.
go that style, they all fall into this sort of like
Oh,
slightly
yeah, where it's all
smarmy,
improvised and
very polished. I like Radio 4 and that stuff, but
Yeah.
very. There's nothing different, is
There's a
there?
script.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you the other main issue, which I think I said before, with open mics is you're doing it in front of a bunch of comics.
Yeah.
That's the hardest audience you're gonna
And
get,
there's also the worry.
and it's the comics that
might
are
steal
there
your
every
jokes.
week. They're there every week. They know all your jokes.
Yeah.
So unless you go in with a new thing every single week, which we tried to do for like a month,
Yeah.
but it was like some of it would be really good, some of it would be really shit, because we weren't focusing on one set and actually making it good. Which
Well,
we've now done.
French and Saunders used to do that. They used to go to all different open mics and they do this. They do a new one at like each night, and then they're like, "Oh my god, how's everyone getting time?" And then they'd realise that people were doing a
The
set
same.
and polishing it.
Yeah.
But we'll go to some now where they're established comics, who we won't mention, and they're doing the same set we saw 8 months ago on a 5-minute set, and you're like, hang on.
And they've gone and done tours and stuff like that with this stuff,
Which
is great. But then when you've come off the tour, start your new shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because obviously
we can get it if you do leading up to your tour, or doing big nights and stuff. We can get you coming in and doing the same thing over and over because you're gonna want to do it in front of a bigger audience and do it well. But you've already done it now.
Yeah.
Try something new.
Would you think of hosting your own open mic?
I've actually been offered several times to open my own show for an open mic. I would have mixed feelings about. I would love to. I would love to have an open mic, but I think, as the type of performer that I am, it would be making sure it's the right space because I'd want everyone to feel welcome. I've been in open mics before where I've not felt welcome.
Oh, some of the films
we have as well.
So it's finding those venues, and that's the hard thing. Finding the accommodating venue. And something I think, especially as the material that I do being very blue, it's what's she gonna say sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's an interesting kind of blue comedy, yours, because it's not like what most other people would be doing.
No.
Because most other people would just be like, I'd fuck a dead baby. That's like that. You know what I mean, though? Like that's the kind of thing that they think is.
Sometimes
that's
I think
blue,
I know what Max is going to say.
That's the dark comedy. And there's very specific people we know that say stuff like that. But then with your stuff, it is a lot more. Well, it's set up better as well, and we've seen it where you've said some horrific fucking shit that we probably wouldn't say on here because there was a crowd of 20 people. It made it fine, but
I've said that before to a crowd of 200. But the thing is, I think I do it in such a lovely way. Yeah,
you don't do it in a.
I think it's like when we have Max say stuff that.
Oh yeah, because I say
officially
something
affiliate his opinion to.
Yeah.
Like how much he wants to kill Prince Charles, King Charles. Apologies. Because it's his character and it's evidently a character. It's got a degree of separation. And likewise, when you're doing it on stage, it's a character. But when you have people just going on and I've broke up with my missus and it's this sort of here we go.
It's the sob story.
Yeah, but it's the same, and you can see it coming, and you're like, oh, there's the thing,
But something I always find quite annoying with that is it's not self-deprecating.
No, it's got.
They're making the other person to be the bad guy, but
I think that's where a lot of people miss things like that. So with again, we're just going to keep talking about ours and yours as well, actually, because it's very similar in this way. Whenever you are taking the piss out of someone, you've got to make it clear that you're the butt of the joke, not this person you're taking the piss out of. If someone's in a fucking wheelchair or something, like, cripple, am I right? Anyway,
it's that extra bit
you've got to do that
like,
extra bit where it makes you look like a fucking idiot for saying something mean or horrific or whatever.
Tell you what, it's not far off the whole David Brent thing when he'd say something and you'd be
that was the whole joke of that character.
And you feel the cringe, and you're like, hang on, the joke isn't what he said, it's that somebody will be saying that. There are people out there who...
Yeah, and they just don't realise. And you see it a lot on the open mic scene where either newer comedians or more established comedians who've done it for years and just clearly haven't learned what works and what doesn't, and they just think that because they've done all these gigs, they know what they're doing. Like, we're not in a place... Well, we're not. You're probably a little bit more than us. But we're not in a place to be telling people this is what's right, this is what's wrong, this is what works, this is what doesn't. But I feel like everyone has their own opinions on things, and I think mine is fucking right now. You know what I mean? It's like...
Well, I'm aware that my act is not for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm aware to some people I am not funny. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fine. But it's the comedians that insist everyone finds me funny. Yeah. Everybody finds me funny. Like, no, they don't. They find you an annoying twat. You know? And...
Feeling quite triggered now. You didn't really need to bring that up at the moment, did you?
All right, darling.
Why did you
You'll
look
get through it.
directly at Jack when you were saying all that as well?
Yeah. But I'm much more endearing, just coming out with shite, when he's there looking homeless and it's between the two of us. Like that. On our own.
I haven't done anything.
On our own, you're not going to make everyone happy. You could go up there and do like a slightly stream of consciousness, blah, 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 blah. And some people go, oh, I love this. And a lot of people go, what? But if they've got two of you to look at, or they've got that aside, they can look at the dynamism between the pair of you, or lack of, with us. So I think that saves us, but so many either do something like what I would do, not really what you do.
What, the character, or what I do when I do solo stuff?
As a character. Yeah. What you do, no one goes up and does much. There's only a few character sort of comedians that we've seen.
So back in the day, I used to be a character comedian. I used to do different characters as part of my act.
right,
There were
okay.
characters that I made.
Such as?
There was a Irish nun.
Yep.
And her name was Sister Bernadette. She was absolutely fun to do.
Good name, Bernadette.
Well, the thing is, I'm Sister Bernadette, so this is the voice that I do when I was doing Bernadette. And, I grew up poor. That's how I became a nun. I grew up very poor. And we were so poor, whenever things went well, we couldn't raise a pint of Guinness. We had to raise a potato. And it was a sad life for Bernadette. No one would touch me.
So it became a nun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And then I would
So
do
the priest.
two cousins. So Margot and Miriam.
Okay.
And Margot, she was very, very medicated is probably the best word. And I remember when I had an affair with the now King Charles. Oh, he was very, very good in bed. Though there was this always fellow called Jack around, and he was always trying to smite him. And we had to get her fly back in the end to go, shoo, commoner, shoo.
see, I can see this in my head as two characters on like a skit, on like a video. But I can see it's difficult to have that as a...
And then I would do her cousin, Miriam. And Miriam was the petite southern belle with the southern charm that could get any man into bed. But the thing is, I'm a bit past my prime, you know. I need a bit of oil in the old joints. And then I did Cher, but demand Cher, you know, because I'm old. Who are you? What's your name?
Oh, dementia.
Dimension.
That took me
This
way
is more
too
you
long.
might to yourself.
Yeah.
I did ask a question. What's your name?
What?
Hi.
Why do you never visit me anymore?
What, do you two remember my ex-husband, Sonny Bono?
No.
No, do you? Well, I was part of an act called Sonny and Cher.
Oh, yes.
And he died in a skiing accident.
Ah.
And I was hurt. Not as hurt as him.
Famously, he was quite a devout Muslim, Sonny.
The beat goes on. And then the last character I would do was Z, and she was very continental European. You can't quite tell where she's from. She doesn't have a name, but one thing she does know, she knows all your secrets. You, sir, I know that you have a very small penis, but you would never admit it.
Secret?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not a secret, that one, love.
It is, darling, but I also know you take a vial to come.
A vital?
A vial to come, darling.
What, like
You
up the ass?
Darling, in any orifice that is nice and moist.
Orifice is a good word.
yeah,
isn't it?
it's a great
I think
word.
we were both just we like Scrabble, and we just occasionally a good 9-letter word score. We're like, oh.
I know some of the things that are good in 9, darling.
See the thing. I was going to say something. I can't remember what it was. It was about you.
Oh, shit.
You!
No, yeah, that was it. No, I'm with you. Right. So all them characters. I can literally see you've got one of those boudoir changing screens on stage, and you're going back and behind it. You're throwing one thing on that represents change of character. The room has changed. It's still Jacqueline, and you're going into that. But
Did you see my act?
no,
That's
but
literally what
is that what it was? But I can see that as a. But who's doing anything similar? The
Not
closest
so
you
much
get
at
is
the
people with
moment, no.
videos and TikTok and Facebook and stuff. There's not.
Yeah, but that's the thing with comedy as well. It goes around and does, you know,
But I don't know
there's
whether
phases of what happens, isn't there?
I don't know where the welcoming
Like-
space is for. I mean, for doubles we can squeeze in with the stand-up.
But actually,
But
to do
with
that
something
act,
like that
I need
is-
to do. Probably the only person doing something similar is Mark Devine with Dick Cheddar.
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah, we've seen that.
goth.
Oh, the goth father, Craig.
goth, yeah.
He was good as well.
But one thing I've noticed, and this just might be me, people are not dressing for the stage anymore.
As in what, like
As in, no one's wearing something nice to go on stage in. You know what I mean?
I mean, I quite like my Hawaiian shirts.
No.
Well, at least one person does.
But that's the panache, the style has left perform. Because you got to remember, people are paying to see a performance.
Yeah.
That's why I always look quite put together on stage.
But that's the other thing, isn't it? The style of comedy that is popular nowadays is more conversational.
Yes.
And it's more, telling people about your week and your opinions and this, that, and the other.
It's like Russell Howard. If you remember Russell Howard on BBC Three,
yes,
Channel 7, then it was on HD for a while, then they got rid of the HD broadcast. When he first came out, and it was a bit of a news, but it's like a little news thing, and it was obviously half written for him, and he delivered it well, and it was short and sweet and jokes and great. But that style has sort of persisted with him.
Yes.
It's not like Billy Connolly, where if you go and watch his early stuff to his late stuff, different style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Evolved with him
yeah.
and with his speed of delivery and stuff. And that's what, he's obviously a really talented Russell Howard, but on those sort of, I don't think of anything he's ever said that I've gone like, wow, that's hilarious, and that's crazy. Frankly, but at least you can say a lot of the stuff he started out with was. But I think there's so many of that sort of middle of the road, and that's what gets on television, and then they end up doing a quiz on daytime TV, and you're like, oh, shoot me now.
Like, I'm aware my act will never get me on television.
Yeah, we do.
We would love to do those things.
Like,
Welcome
I'm aware
to Perfect Pitch.
my act will never get me on television. I am very aware the things I say on stage cannot be broadcast.
Yeah.
Max has been on telly, Animal Planet twice.
No.
What's the sexiest monkey? We did this last week.
Sexiest monkey? Oh, goodness. Probably a gorilla.
Oh.
Okay.
No, sorry, we didn't ask that. We asked what the gayest monkey was, and I said bonobo, and I was right.
Oh, no, I'd say a baboon.
Well,
they look like they take it up the arse.
They've always got it on show, don't they?
Baboons.
Well, we actually did Google it. Gayest monkey. And
The top 10. Did someone get the top 10?
oh, it's a band. The Gayest Monkey Lesbian Lover Band.
With
puking horses.
Right, okay.
That's not what we meant to search up. What is...
Why don't you put in what monkeys show the highest level of homosexuality?
Bonobos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jack guessed that. He was right. It's weird, isn't it?
Well, I just knew they were quite sexy. Not sexy monkeys. No such thing as sexy monkeys.
What is a bonobo? I can never remember
A
this.
bonobo. Oh. Bonobo.
Them.
Oh.
Ah, yeah, it does
Oh,
look
God,
pretty
look
gay.
at him. Look at him down there. It's a warm day wherever he is. What did the sand?
Very saggy.
I think that's a female.
It's also Elon Musk is a monkey.
Yeah, because of the...
He's got balls.
Because look at them. That's a matin. I think.
He's got my haircut.
We're just looking at monkeys now.
This is the point where we all start looking at monkeys.
This is the kind of shit that happens on our show.
What's your... So we always come full circle. By which I mean we've now started coming full circle. What's your perfect length of set? So you have a captive audience.
Set or sex?
Both, either. Or
Okay, I'll have
possibly in a French prison. Captive audience. There's been a warm up. They're in a good mood. What's your perfect set where you think I can get out there? I can do bum 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 bum, run through it, finish little encore. What do you reckon?
What's your favourite time frame?
Time frame to work.
So my favourite time frame is somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go with 15. But I like opening a show.
Mm.
I really like opening.
like a cold open.
I like a cold open because I think I bring a lot of warmth to the stage.
Yeah,
I think if you think of the nights that we obviously did,
Yeah.
the audience have been quite cold with us. I think when you get that warmer, it depends who follows me to if it's going to succeed or fail.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we tend to go a little bit later on, but we don't like to go right at the end.
I don't mind
But
closing.
we need more time on stage. Not like
Well, 10 to
with
15
the one we
isn't
did in
terrible with us,
Warrington the other week wasn't a great example because the day before we'd done 5 minutes, so we had a 5-minute set in our heads.
Oh yeah.
So when we went on stage, somebody forgot to do the long set.
To be fair, I completely forgot my set when I got on that stage.
Just
It
reaching
was-
into the bag, pulling out. Oh, there's a dildo.
You see, that could have been a nice little venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got to walk through the.
It's just again promotion.
Yeah.
I didn't see any promotion
And
online for
Is
it.
he doing any more of them?
I think so. Yeah, he does them every other month. Like
Okay.
he does a fair few make. And the fun shows to do, like the one we did in, what was it? It was in Liverpool somewhere.
Oh, it was Avicii's club. Weirdly,
Yeah, and there was a nice big audience.
and it's a
then
big stage as well.
the first one we did in Warrington with him had a nice big audience, and they were on. The second one was on stage, on a big stage. So we know he can get the audience. You know what I mean? Like it's
Where
not an
was
issue
it
for him.
in
It's just,
Warrington the first time?
It was the back road behind the
Stadium.
Stadium.
yeah, there's a nice little
Penny
sidebar.
McCall's.
Right.
Yeah, it was nice in there, and it was packed, absolutely rammed in there.
In fact,
And we did pretty well.
I'd rate Penny McCall's for any sort of small drink or leisurely activity, or maybe just spending time with friends and having a well-priced pint of bitter. And if Penny McCall's want to book us or Jacqueline for any future performances, I think that'd be great. Carry on. No? All right. We're not going to get sponsored yet, so we want to try and throw it forward.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, no, wait.
No, we're on about the show. He's on about the
Oh.
show. Yeah, the show's not sponsored just yet.
Well, have you two thought about putting your own night on?
We tried it.
And how'd that go?
Max tried it.
Fucking terrible.
You didn't book me.
No, it was a
Nah,
pub.
It was
in
it was
Wigan.
a pub, and they were like, it's my local pub, and I get on with the owners and stuff like that, and the staff and everything. So, and it was nice of them to let us give it a go. Put all the faith in me for it, and it was sold out quite well, but it was trying to control an audience in Wigan.
It was a busy pub
Is
in its own right as well.
Fucking hard.
Yeah.
In
So there
Wigan.
was a lot there, not
'Cause
just
it's-
because it was comedy.
Yeah.
So it's the playoff between, do you want people in or do you want them being for...
To be fair, I did a gig for Mark Devine, and the audience was wild.
Hmm.
Like,
Cat
I
and Fiddle one? Or?
It can work though. It can work if an
yeah.
audience is wild.
didn't for me.
All right,
anyway.
Yeah,
go,
but
go
it
to
just-
Uganda.
I think the only laugh we actually got, us two, was it was a foreign joke.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had Jordan Deschamps, the Canadian comedian. We had him on, and it was, Jack said, we've actually got a foreign comedian on, and as he said that, I went, get him! And Jack went, no, he's one of the good ones.
In Wigan.
Wigan.
Get him. Before the punchline, get him was what everyone go, ha, yeah.
Yeah, in Wigan,
Right.
everyone loves that, because foreigners. But, he's Canadian, so the joke was, oh, he's one of the good ones.
Have you
Yeah.
done Blackpool yet?
We got a fun story about that.
Okay.
So, we wanted to branch out and go just somewhere that we hadn't done.
Did you say brown trout?
Branch out and do a show somewhere that we hadn't performed before, a little bit further out the field for us. So we decided on Blackpool because we thought, there'll probably be a fair few shows up there. So I found an open mic night up there because this was still very early doors. It was 2-3 months into doing
Yeah, this
comedy.
was summer last year.
So we weren't very far into doing it, and so we found a open mic night, and we thought, you know what, we can make a couple of days out of it. We'll go up, stay in a hotel for 2 nights, and do some writing whilst we're up there. Write a few sets, write a few sketches, go and do the open mic on the second night, stay over, and then come home in the morning. So we've gone up, stayed in the worst rated hotel in Blackpool, the Norbert Castle Hotel, which...
There was a quiz on when we walked in. So we walked in, we're tired, we've been driving, and it's like Benidorm up there, so they're all sat there. And we walk in, suitcase, whatever it is, and he goes, okay, ladies and gentlemen, question 52. 80,000 people every year die of coronary heart disease. True or false, ladies and gentlemen? And that wasn't... It was like someone had just taken the piss with a joke.
Yeah,
And there's kids running around doing handstands, and we're like, now you ask them about coronary heart disease.
Yeah, so we spent the time up there just, writing and stuff. We went out the next day, recorded a few sketches, which you can see on our TikTok. And, we just had a fun time whilst we were there. And then we realised, we need to actually plan to go to this open mic. So I was finding the address. Right, it's on the other side of Blackpool, so we just got to get on the tram, and then it's like a 10-minute walk or something like that. Then Jack has a little look into it, this thing, because I couldn't find the post. so I couldn't see what time we were meant to be there. So Jack's looking into it and went, "Is it this place?" I went, "Yeah." He went, "You know, it's not an open mic anymore." So I went, "What?" And what was it, Jack?
1940s poetry night. not just a poetry night, not like stand up or come and play some music or come and do some slam poetry. 90 specifically.
Yeah, 1940s.
Roses are red, violets are blue. My husband died in the war. His balls were blue.
I thought you say my family is dead. We're all Jews.
But yeah, so Jack was, you weren't best pleased with me at that
No,
time.
I'd have to like horse trade with I shouldn't stop saying the horse trading wife, but I'd had to like explain we were going to go and do a gig, and that was why she just let me go on a few days while she was heavily pregnant.
Oh yeah, she was due the next month or something like that, month after.
Yeah.
Something. So she was heavily pregnant at the time.
And then when we got there, and I was like, and he's like, and we were literally ready to get in the car. The conversation had gone. The tram doesn't go far enough. Shall we get in the car? And I was like, should we just check before we go? And then it popped up, and I was like,
But did you do it though?
No. We just decided to go to a bar instead and have a drink, and then we went to a casino.
we went to a James Bond themed bar. Max went to a casino with me. I kept giving him advice that meant he lost. Once he started ignoring me, he won a bit of money.
Yeah.
So I've had mixed luck in Blackpool as a performer. I performed at some really great venue. I performed at Funny Girls.
Okay.
That was really fun. The Flying Handbag was good.
All right.
But the last time I absolutely died on my arse was Garland's. And
Whereabouts Garland's?
it's basically opposite the Flying Handbag.
Oh.
And it's a
Whereabouts is the flying handbag?
Blackpool.
Blackpool.
Oh right, okay.
And
In between Inverness and London.
they gave me a broken microphone, but no one realised it. But no one told them that comedy was on as well.
So no one in the audience knew?
No, so they just expected a drag queen. So I walked up and said, obviously, some jokes, and nobody knew what was going on. And then...
Did you do that as well? Like you just...
Yeah, basically. And then I realised no one could hear me because my microphone was broken. And, well, I say it was broken, it was on and off. So it wasn't great.
Yeah. So it was like
and I did
bad
2 lip
frequency.
syncs for the thing, and no one knew the songs.
Oh, jeez.
And it was like, I've just got to survive for half an hour, and I get my full fee. And
Well, it's like the lack of preparation from some venues. Yeah. You just need people to... If they come in and order a drink, we've got this on tonight. It'll be over there. Really good. Just, you know what I mean? For the sake of speaking to everyone that comes into the bar that evening, at least they'd know what's going on. But how many places have we been to and they've got no idea what's going on?
yeah.
Not a clue.
This is why I try and avoid bars doing it. Obviously, putting on a night or going to a night. They're not designed for that. They're not designed for people to sit quietly. That's the thing. And my next show that I'm hosting myself is going to be at the Geek Retreat in Warrington.
Oh, where's the Geek Retreat?
Do you know where Central Station is?
Yeah.
So it's at the Arches just at the back.
Near Bean's Dick Bar.
Yeah.
No,
So
no,
basically,
sorry, not Bean's Dick Bar.
Dean's
Dick's Bean Bar.
that one.
Bean's Dick Bar. You'd love.
So basically, where the coffee shop is, you cross the little road and it's there.
Yeah.
And I'm putting that on for a charity fundraising night with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
Oh, right, okay.
And because that's something a bit different, they're being amazing with me, by the way. They're not charging me for the room.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, I chose there because it's not a bar and it's somewhere that queer people in Warrington do feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
And I feel like with comedy as well, we're losing the line of what is acceptable. I know that is ironic coming from me.
Ooh.
But I think...
Yeah, I can get what you're saying.
No, I want to dig into this.
Yeah,
Like,
let's dig into it a little bit.
It's okay me saying things about being Jewish.
I said she was actually Jewish.
Yeah, I am Jewish.
Yeah, I didn't disagree with you.
For anyone wondering, I am Jewish. We've cleared it up. I got rid of the nose. I had plastic surgery.
Oy vey.
Oy vey.
Hey, so we've got to...
So...
Sorry, why is a Russian hunting a...
No, I meant to do German.
Yeah.
So, I think it's okay for me to do a German... not German, a Jewish joke.
Sometimes that's all they could do.
Sometimes it's when someone that's clearly not Jewish is doing jokes about the Jews. Or they do a trans joke. Because there are people out there that are doing trans jokes at the minute just because it's funny. And
See, I think we've always seen that die on its ass, haven't we? If someone's
Yeah.
not trying... I've seen it where
It's always died on its ass.
usually older men have tried something. even if it's just wordplay and it's just gone quiet. And I think with jokes that might reference Judaism and whatnot, I think it gets. I'll stop moving and just stroking your leg. I'm on a spinny chair. I think it gets a bit of a. It doesn't get treated as serious as it should do, because when people tend to think in their head about different groups, they still associate people who do it with currently being relatively looked after. And actually, it's not true. There's all of it. But that to them can justify why you can have the odd joke. And I think it is difficult, because you can't just say everything's fair game. But there always needs to be a degree of context to it.
Yeah, I feel like you can't just come out and, like, obviously I lost family in the war, you know, that's why I say it's a bit of closure for my family. But I don't want to name and shame, which there is a comedian at the moment who you both know that said a trans joke and it fell on his ass. But
yeah, so
look at Max trying to guess.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to guess. I'm just going to ask you in a minute. But no, I think if you say something funny, it should be related to something that you know about. And if it's not related to something you know about, it needs to be something that someone you know is related to it. And if they like you, then sell it.
Yeah.
If you don't have any mates who are, you know, for example, Jewish or something like that, and you just start making jokes about the Jews, that's gonna.
It's when it exists in isolation, doesn't it? When it just comes out of.
But then again, it also comes to who's in the audience.
I think we saw it when we last did the together. When If You Want to Beat Me.
Well, I thought you want to beat me. I was like, no.
Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. Right, ready?
When?
Oh yeah.
He said a trans joke.
Who?
Yeah. Do you want to take one of your ears off? I don't think he knows who that is, but yeah, carry on.
So he did a trans joke, didn't he?
Yeah.
In his set. And the room fell silent.
I can't remember the night exactly.
I
but
can't
yeah.
remember the person.
But, you know, again, without the context,
Yeah.
it makes people uncomfortable. It's like if I started saying random jokes about men. You know what I mean? What I mean? And I'm not on about in a sexual way.
No.
It's, I just hate men.
It sets you up against a group without any context or any building to it. There's no, which I suppose there's enough. Men's maybe not the best example, because there's enough of a cliche and all this stuff that you can accept that. Oh, maybe they're going into like that sort of style of setup, but there's not when it's something as topical as trans rights or religious issues at the moment. Like, there needs to be something more to it.
Well, we both have jokes that are pushing the line a little bit in that sense as well.
I would never.
So
Yeah.
So we have the one which we do on a lot of our sets, which is the black joke, where we set it up. So the presents.
Never heard of this joke in my life.
Don't you be afraid. So the presents joke, you know, some kids won't get presents at Christmas. Oh, naughty kids. No, not naughty kids. You know, just because of the circumstance.
Yeah, Jewish kids. The first
Jewish
one
kids. No, not circumstance. Oh, right.
Which is a
like they've got family in prison.
Words,
black kids. That is obviously, you know, in any other comedian really that I can think of that we know says that joke, it's going to die on their ass.
Yes.
The way that it works for us is
You are a character.
I'm a character.
Yeah.
And we've already set it up that I'm a character who does not like have any social awareness.
Yes.
Is extremely like rude, sometimes homophobic, sometimes racist, sometimes you know, it's meant to be like an amalgamation of the worst characteristics of a person in this one character, and Jack's nice enough to try and help him.
Yeah, and it's not like you then carry on down that road. You stop.
Oh no, we stop.
No, and then it's like
we might come back with another
not...
joke later on that's similar in that sense, but it's not going to be, you know, 7 racist jokes at once. Like, we might make the odd
one.
the
joke is,
but they're not
they're
not racist, are they? It's more making fun of me for being a character that thinks like that.
And when we first came up with that,
so that's why it works.
Max's thing, that actually, but in my head I was like, what if somebody said something? And I was like, well, you could always jump on your feet and be like, well, statistic, but is that just a show about how bad the judicial system is in incarceration? And you could,
but then your character,
you don't need to, do you? Because the joke is your character.
My character, you're not the character who thinks like that. So if your character says, you know, oh well, statistically, it just doesn't work. Then that's when it's going to die on its ass. And we've learnt that from experience because Jack doesn't know when to shut the fuck up and tried it one night and it died on its arse, the joke. As people are laughing when I say, oh, black kids, and then people are laughing. Jack says statistically, silence.
Well, then we did it
because
where,
it just
we did it where we had a pause,
just went wrong.
and then I went, no, you can't say it anyway. Went, but when it's your character, it works because your character's the one that's thinking in a very direct way, which isn't PC, but it's all the joke on you about that's no social awareness or
But yeah, I mean, there's going back on track a little bit more. There's comedians out there who actually think like my character sometimes.
Yes, and that's the
on
real
stage
thing.
And that's the real issue. It's not, you can make jokes about trans people, you can make jokes about gay people, you can make jokes about straight people, you can make jokes about white people, black people, whoever. Not the Muslims though, they will kill you. Sorry. No, but you can make jokes about all these people as long as you set it up in the right way and it doesn't come across as just saying it to try and get a laugh. If you've set it up right and it gets a laugh, then you've done it right and you can say that joke, in my opinion. But if you've set it up or not set it up at all, or you've set it up wrong, that's when it's just wrong. But then, like I said, there's so many comedians who just don't seem to know how to.
Have you had to
set them
cut
up.
anything out of something that you've said before that you thought, that's quite clever, and you go, it's a bit over the line?
And we can bleep it as well for you if you want.
No, I've never apologised for a joke.
No, you shouldn't.
That's something I'm firmly. If you are at the point where you're thinking, will I need to apologise for this joke, you shouldn't say the joke.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously, I have a very, very low threshold.
Yeah.
For that. And yeah, I've never said a joke that I'm not proud of.
We don't apologise for our jokes because at the end of the day, as a comedian, your job is to try and make people laugh.
Exactly.
So if you're saying something that's a bit riskier, make sure it's with the right audience. And, if it's going to be one that you need to apologise for, don't say it, like you said. If someone comes up to you and says, I found that offensive, just go.
So I've had that before.
Okay.
Just go.
Just like,
So I have had that before where
Okay.
people have told me that I was rude, I was offensive, that women shouldn't be saying these things. And my comeback was, go fuck yourself and no refunds.
But like in those situations, if they come up to you and say, you're rude, you're offensive, blah, 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 at the end of the day, they're the ones being rude.
They're the ones with a problem.
And it's
when
their issue. It's
they
not
forget
your issue.
that they've came to a comedy club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, for example, I was a judge on a trans beauty contest. It's called Miss Sauna over at Sauna. And one of the acts
How did you come up with the name?
Sauna. I didn't.
Because it was at the sauna.
Well, it used to be called Northwich Sauna, but they did a bit of a rebranding. But anyway, we're going off topic now.
Oh, is it now called sauna? Sorry, I will.
This is
Yeah,
what
so
happens.
it is called Sauna.
I didn't know that.
So she had a real problem with one of my critiques of her look.
Okay.
And she was wearing a, bright red PVC bodysuit during the everyday wear. And my critique was, I don't know if this is very everyday wear. You wouldn't really see it at Marks and Spencer, would you? And she had such an issue with that statement.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're here to be judged.
Yes. Yeah.
That is what my role is.
You've not stopped doing Costa and gone, hey, look.
Exactly. And that, again, I didn't apologise for that. I just
No, you
told her to
shouldn't.
go fuck herself. But, well, no one would. I'll show you her face later.
Difficult to get the PVC suits off as well. Talcum powders apparently help.
So a bit of lube. Bit of lube's easier.
No, but then you can't catch him.
Yeah, what if it slips off?
Well, put it this way, this one was that old down, she needed all the moisture she could get.
Jesus.
But yeah, people need to remember where they are as well. You are at a comedy club. You are going to be entertained by various different people doing comedy.
Yeah.
And we've all got different comedy styles. And it's like, you need to just remember why you're here.
Exactly.
You wanted to come along to this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But you just, people are so... And it it's definitely, I think, become worse since social media and stuff, but everyone seems to think their opinion matters. And it's ironic us saying that after just having a 30-minute rant about
No,
things like that. But
somebody could come
everyone
out
does is entitled to their own opinion. You know, that's perfectly fine. But I honestly could not give less of a shit about your opinion. You know what I mean?
And I think we need to stop caring about other people's opinions so much.
Yeah.
Especially in comedy. That's something like I've not been given bookings because I'm not PC enough. Is probably the best word.
Yeah.
You know, that's fair
It's
enough.
like,
You wouldn't
that's
have fit in that
fine.
gig then.
That's fine.
That's fine.
But don't make it my issue.
Yeah.
Just say no, thank you. Don't give me the explanation. Just go.
We've
no,
decided to go in a different direction.
Yeah, exactly. And it's beginning to annoy how clean everything's becoming with comedy.
Well, actually, I see it as the opposite though as well. I think it's actually either too clean or it's too dark.
We're losing the middle ground.
Yeah, the middle ground's kind of going away, and that's what we're trying to save.
Like, I know.
And you know what? Like Jack likes to say, you know, when it comes to people ask us like, why have we done the double act and stuff? What is it you like to say, Jack? You know, there was we were looking around at all the other comics, and all we were seeing was white men doing it. So we thought, you know what, comedy really needs is 2 white men on stage at the same time.
Let's face it, French and Saunders are going to retire eventually.
Exactly, yeah. And Anton Deck.
Are they not already retired?
Anton Deck? No, I don't think so.
Oh.
No, I think they're still going. But are they comedians? They're more TV personalities.
They're more presenters.
Presenters, yeah.
And they can't share the drive into the gigs anymore.
Yeah.
Can't share.
Deck has to do both. What did he crash, a Ferrari?
I think it was a Fiesta, mate.
Was it? And it began with
A little bit
Speaking
different.
of obviously with presenting, have you two presented anything yet? Like, have you MC'd?
Max presents quite a lot.
Yeah, but I get told off for that. We have, so the ones that we did back last year at my local, we did an open mic which I did on my own, presenting wise, and then the actual comedy night we MC'd together.
How'd that go?
It wasn't terrible when we did it.
It weren't terrible.
It was
it
easier
was just
being
again.
MC than it was being on in that noisy venue.
Yeah.
I
We had an easier job because we were, when you're an MC, people are allowed to interrupt you a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're allowed to take the hits that the comedians,
think
for the comedians a little bit more.
We'd quite enjoyed MCing, like, you know, some of the nights you can be guest MC.
Yeah.
Because for us, it's like, it gives you a chance to go on, do a minute or two, bring on the next person, and then do another little bit, and you can sort of throw back to a lot of the stuff that's been on, and you don't have to just do one big drag, and you can work on what you've seen, which for us I think would be quite neat. Because again, it's a very different change to one guy coming up and going, my mother-in-law, and then it's us, and then it's somebody else. So it's like a palate cleanser for a very different thing.
I prefer MCing to sets. I actually prefer doing obviously all that I do as an MC than I do actually as a comedian. I prefer doing that side of things.
Right, yeah.
See, that would be where if you got an open mic, you'd have that freedom to.
I would, darling. It's just.
But it's a lot of
commitment as well, isn't it?
A lot of commitment, and obviously I still work full time, so it's finding the time.
Oh, we didn't even get into that.
Well,
Wow.
finding time.
Like what you do?
One moment in time.
Anyway,
So
I think.
I am an early years consultant.
Oh, so like working with children and that.
Essentially, I go to different nurseries and I try and get them an outstanding rating with Ofsted. I improve their environment, how their curriculums can be embedded. And to be fair, my manager lives in Speak. Literally, she lives over there. So yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask you off air about something.
Okay.
Because my partner works in a nursery, and it's going to be really annoyed that I'm bringing this up. But I'm going to ask you about if you know about anything. And anyway,
so you walk in, you're like, that textbook's out of date. You shouldn't be doing that. He shouldn't be face down in the pool for more than 5 minutes. He's dead. And
Essentially, it's like
here's how you can fix this.
Probably shouldn't have
here's
a
how
pool.
you can fix things. It's like bringing a lot more natural resources into nurseries, that sort of thing. So we're not overstimulating children.
When you say natural resources, like twigs and shit.
Yeah, just think about it. That like, let's just use something in this room as an example.
Max has got an axe.
We've got
Right.
Max.
An axe. There we go. So I'm holding an axe, right?
Yeah.
This can only ever be an axe, okay? But if I give you just a stick, it could be an axe, it could be a magic wand,
Oh.
it could be like a hammer. It could be anything you want it to be.
Right. Okay.
But this can only ever be an axe.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a hammer.
It could, but not a very good one.
Yeah.
But again, we wouldn't be giving children axes, and we really do not endorse that.
Oh wait, are we not meant to?
No.
The only children who would have been given axes, of course, were the
Vikings.
No, the kids in Viking China.
In Viking
That
China.
was some of the only technology they had to fight the
I
robots.
believe they had a great call with the robots.
On that note, though, I think we're gonna have to start wrapping up a little bit.
Have we got anything to throw forwards to? What are your what's
Yeah.
next
So what's
on the
coming up for
agenda?
you?
So coming up for me is Mr. Sauna. That is going to be very interesting. I'm once again hosting Sefton and Warrington Pride.
Very good.
I am. Oh, what else am I doing? I've obviously got the thing coming up with what's the brand that I said at the beginning that I cannot remember?
Agent
Agent Provocateur.
Yeah.
And
French. That.
it's actually from London, but you know.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much booked up until like end of August. I'm going to the Morecambe Bay Fringe Festival.
Oh, we're doing that.
Hey.
Yeah, we're
that'll be
up there.
fun. I'm doing
What day are you doing?
I'm doing the Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, the 20. No. What date? We're doing the 12th. Saturday the 12th.
So I will be there, and I'm also doing Ryan Wood's night on the 30th.
Right. Okay. I don't know if we're going to still be there. We're still deciding on whether or not we'll stay for the whole.
To be fair, I've not actually been given. I've been given a time. I've just not been given a venue.
We've got the hotel venue.
I've not been given a venue. I need
I
to
don't know. I
actually
think
check that.
Lou's on the same venue the next day.
Okay.
I don't know how long we've got for that. We need to look into that. So you've got that one, and what else have you got? Have you got anything else lined up that you can think of?
Apart from the sauna shows, no.
Right. Well, have you got anything you want to promote, like social media or anything like that?
Oh, and I'm also doing Real Comedy Club at the beginning of June. So my Instagram is Jacqueline Fontaine Comedy.
Jacqueline Fontaine Comedy.
And find me on there.
Fantastic.
Right, brilliant. Well, thank you for having us on.
Yeah, having us on.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you
Charlie. You've been
for
great
Thanks for
guest.
hosting us.
You're
You're welcome, darling. Next time we will have actual comedians. Join me next time with a bunch of other amazing people, such as Lloyd and Williams, Lou Black, and as always, it's me, Jacqueline Fontaine.
See?
Thank you and goodbye.
The professionalism we need. Thank you so much.
Anyway, thank you again for coming down, and we hope you've had fun.
It's been
At least.
fun. Isn't necessarily the right word. It's more
Educational.
more like rambling with Chardonnay.
That's the kind of
You know, that'd
vibe
be
we're
a
going
great
for. I
name for
think.
this. Rambling with Chardonnay.
Rambling with
Sounds like a
What
Channel
when you've
4.
took it over from us?
Sounds like a Channel 4 documentary, doesn't it? Rambling with Chardonnay.
All right. Anyway, thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.
We
Yeah.
apologise for this podcast in advance. We do not endorse the murdering of monarchs.
Yeah.
Yes. No, we don't. We don't do that, Jack.
Come on.
No.
No, it is illegal, dear.
We're going to have to
It's
get
no,
more
it's-
pennies made if he
Right.
doesn't.
Okay. Thanks for listening,
Right,
guys.
thank you,
All right.
bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Go on.
We're done.